Hey, this is Matt once again with about 10 videos, another paid request, this time for Bobby. Thank you so much for that, and for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2011 film Dolphin Tale, which I had heard of the film, but I did not know much about it, because I'm thinking, this won't be my cup of tea. But it's based on a true story. Now, how much of it is true? There's always a lot of BS in true stories, but it seems like for the most part this followed the story about, this kid, pretty lonely 11-year-old kid whose dad abandoned them. His mom is played by Ashley Judd, who's in Kiss the Girls, Double Jeopardy, among other films. And he's going to summer school. Along the way, one day, he sees a fisherman, and he's got this dolphin. And he's trying to help this dolphin that's caught in one of these traps. So he has a Swiss Army knife. He's able to get some of it off and stay with it until help arrives. It's this marine aquarium led by Harry Connick Jr., who I always remember as Will Smith's buddy in Independence Day. His daughter is about the same age as the kid, and they bond. And the kid gets fascinated with this dolphin and wants to help. Seems like the dolphin likes the kid, so Harry Connick Jr. lets the kid help. The mom finds out about it. She's not sure, but eventually she's able to be... She's an understanding person. They didn't make her just a bitch or one note. Other people in the film, Kris Kristofferson plays Harry Connick Jr.'s dad, who helps with the facility. Morgan Freeman is in the movie. Because ultimately what happens is the dolphin's tail needs to be amputated. Or at least a portion of it. And it can't swim right. And then when it tries to swim, it's doing okay, but it's putting pressure on the spine. And if it does more of that, it's going to eventually die. So our lead kid, there's a point where his cousin has come back from the military and needs a prosthetic. And the kid's cousin is trying to deal with it on his own terms, which makes sense. I mean, when you've lost a limb and you need a prosthetic, you need some time to let that sink in. But it gives our lead kid the idea of, well, wait a minute, why don't we have a prosthetic on a dolphin? Morgan Freeman's the guy who makes the prosthetics. And the movie goes on from there. Now, I liked it. This is a film I did like. For a number of reasons. Number one, I thought the cast did a more than capable job. There was no one I thought that did a bad job. The kids were not annoying. They weren't irritating. The mom, she was understandably cautious, but fairly quickly understanding. I like the bit where she tries to talk to the teacher. The teacher's not sure about it. So the mom, gives a little note to her kid saying, here's your new school uniform, which is a wetsuit. So the mom's taking him out of summer school because, hey, this will be a good learning experience. So a nice, understanding mom. Harry Connick Jr. I always thought was a decent actor. Never thought he was a bad actor. I've seen him in other stuff too. Same with, and you got Kris Kristofferson and Morgan Freeman. Two damn good actors. And it was a sweet movie that didn't feel too melodramatic. It didn't try to force a lot of... Because a lot of these true stories, they try to force a lot of bullshit in there. Something, okay, they don't force something where Ashley Judd and Harry Connick Jr. fall in love with each other. And hey, maybe we could be brother and sister to the two kids. If my dad and your mom get together. But they thankfully don't go into that. Well, that didn't happen in real life. Well, how many true stories are made into movies and you go, well, that didn't happen and that didn't happen. So they don't force a lot of bullshit into there, which I appreciate. It's pretty straightforward, and that helps with the pacing. They got a real dolphin, and dolphins are cool. There could be some vicious motherfuckers. Don't let the innocence fool you. But, dolphins are cool. That's a tagline. Dolphins are cool. The review. But yeah, I like the fact that it was, as the reviews say, it was a sweet, earnest movie where it doesn't go too sappy. It doesn't go too, we need to have the feelings here. It doesn't go too, like, Disneyfied, if that makes sense. Cringy, cheesy would be the word. For the most part, it tells a story in a matter-of-fact way, which was nice to see. It didn't feel like such a cringeworthy watch. And the actors seemed like they actually cared. It didn't seem like, oh, this is beneath me, and sleepwalking through their roles. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of scenes that are kind of put in there that just waste time. We set up the kid, we set up the dolphin, we set up the marine aquarium, we set up the idea that they're losing money, but they're going to do the best they can. We set up the kid bonding with the dolphin and helping the dolphin swim. The dolphin trusts him to feed him. Here's a predicament about the spine. His cousin coming back, which they were very close at the beginning of the film, but he's a bit distant. He needs time. But now he kind of sees how if this dolphin can deal with a prosthetic, maybe I can as well. But again, it doesn't try to go too... This could easily go into very melodramatic a lot of the times, and it doesn't, and I appreciate that. Yeah, not all this... I mean, there are certain stuff in there that, technically you didn't need. One I do like that is in there, it's this pelican that keeps messing with people. Pelican, let the pelican fly. I think it's a pelican. I forget what you call the bird. It's a big fucking bird that's fucking with people. I kind of like how much of a troll the bird was. Big fucker, too. So it's like steering the shit out of Ashley Judd's character, or messing with the lead kid at the beginning. I liked him. Like, you just say, oh, you did. Well, it was cute for the kids, but it didn't screw up the pace of the movie. There's one bit that I don't know why it's in there where the little boy has like a toy helicopter and it's flying with the little girl, and you see the helicopter kind of fly off and crash. I don't know why that was in the movie. You could have easily taken that out. But that's one of the few bits watching and going, you know what, you could edit that. The rest of it seems fairly tightly paced for this kind of movie. And it's from Charles Martin Smith, the guy who directed this. He was an actor first. He was in Starman. He was one of the people asking Jeff Bridges about why you come to Earth and all that stuff. He's like the guy in Starman with the glasses, a little bit nerdy looking guy. He directed a film that deserves a Blu-ray, 50-50, with Peter Weller and Robert Hayes. Fun, underrated action buddy movie. Sadly only on DVD. Like I said, deserves a Blu-ray. He also directed Air Bud, which I forgot. He directed the first Air Bud movie. So that's Charles Martin Smith. He did a pretty decent job. He did a pretty decent job directing this, and again, not going for... It's a thin line where you can either force it into trying to be more kid-friendly, like titty... Let's have a bunch of like titty cute scenes just for the kids. But no, here is just, okay, we have that little bird pelican thing. That's pretty much it. And it doesn't go too... No, yeah, force the drama to the point you're puking Dayglow. like I say, it's a tightrope it walks, and it walks it fairly well. That's probably why it got a lot of good critical reviews and some decent box office. And I mean, it's predictable, sure. I mean, A, if you know the real story, you know how it's going to go. But, and B, even if you didn't, we need money. We don't start a crowdfunding. A group of people don't get in. You're going to see that people don't like the dolphin and give money and things will be okay. The guy who's unsure about his prosthetic, he's going to overcome it by the end. But yeah, it doesn't come off as sappy like a total Disney film would be, as dumb with humor as a cheap direct-to-video movie would have been. Like I said, it had his head right on his shoulders with how it told the story. And that made it a little bit interesting about hearing about this Winter the dolphin and what it did. And again, nice handling of the dolphin. Is that one of those things where out of the blue, because some director would do this, let's just have a CGI dolphin out of the blue. No, have a real dolphin. Be careful with how you handle it. Of course, nowadays, it'd be like, oh no, it's too mean. We need a CGI dolphin to be more careful. Call PETA. We need a CGI dolphin or no dolphin at all. No, it's a real dolphin. Oh, that's ridiculous, Matt. You tell me that you don't think that could happen one day? Don't use any animals at all, just use all CG. I could see that happening. And apparently this was a 3D movie, but I didn't really see anything in the movie that would warrant a 3D aesthetic. Nothing in the movie streamed out 3D. But again, this was the time where like every other fucking film needed like a 3D version of it. 2010, 2011, Saw 3D was what, 2010? Like every fucking movie needed like a 3D version. Even if it was just, you just see it a little bit further out and not just the typical 3D thrown at the screen. It used to be 3D. No, it doesn't. Does it really? Are you sure we need 3D? No. But I say it's nice to see Morgan Freeman in there. He's a great, capable actor. You don't get a lot of depth on the characters. Maybe that's one thing people may complain about. Like Ashley Judd's character or Harry Connick Jr. Like, you don't get a lot of depth and character development. As in, hey, the kid's no longer lonely because he's playing with the dolphin and these other guys. Ashley Judd, she's pretty much just kind of there supporting her kid. Morgan Freeman, there's no backstory or anything. It's just, oh, sure, okay. Kind of a weird thing, but okay, I'll help make this prosthetic. It's not working right. Oh, maybe this, and if I change that, maybe this will work. So, some people may say, well, there's not a lot of deep development on some of the other characters, or there's not, you know, it's a predictable story. It's still a story that is good for the family, is very reasonable for the kids. If you watch it as an adult, you're not cringing, you're not rolling your eyes, you're not going... It's a nice, sweet little movie. Nice, sweet movie that, again, struck the right balance that then made you go... Instead makes you go, oh, not bad. That wasn't a bad movie at all. So, Dolphin Tale, worth a look. Good cast, sweet story, worth a look. Because again, in the wrong hands, this could be like a Hallmark Channel movie or a Lifetime Channel movie. No, probably more like a Hallmark Channel movie. And the ways I could see this totally in a bad way. Like, oh God, if Hallmark had made this or something like that, man, I could see how it really fucking, really, well, Hallmark wouldn't make this. It does take place on Christmas. So, does it take place on Christmas? Fuck this, we won't make it. But anyway, going off tangent. With that said, nice job to everyone involved. Again, don't know why it was made in 3D. There's nothing 3D about it. Again, they was probably forced to do it because studio wanted every fucking movie in 3D. Yeah, didn't have a whole lot of issues with it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.